Hi, this is Elizabeth Berry, also Betsy Berry. I am sharing my screen of my PowerPoint presentation for immersive technology as simulation education, creating future classrooms. I looked into immersive technology, virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. They're quickly becoming adopted by businesses and education to enhance and individualize teaching and training. I gave a presentation to an area nursing professional development group tonight, just earlier today. And it was an online meeting through Zoom platform. The learner characteristics were adults, nurses, members of a local chapter of professional development group. The learner needs assessment. The assumption is that most members have not heard of immersive technology used as simulation education. They may have heard it before, but it's kind of intangible as far as bringing it into practice and having it become part of their future teaching strategies. So the purpose of this teaching project was to educate on the uses and affordability of the adoption of immersive technology in teaching practice. That's kind of a reiteration of what I just said. So we kind of looked through the different modalities, and we will kind of go through the different ones that I've described and that I've researched a little bit. Immersive technology is a hard trend, according to technology futurist Daniel Burrus. That was a gentleman that we had the pleasure of having in our class, and I was able to ask him that question and got a very positive response. It was really neat. The presentation seeks to inform the learners of the types of immersive technology, cost, benefits, and drawbacks of incorporating technology into practice. So the objectives, the learners will identify the differences in the technology, and through images and video presentation, they will be taken to the CIMEX website where they will see a sample of immersive technology, or VR, by this independent company. And they will be able to evaluate the use of immersive technology against current simulation education methodology and practice. And the learning outcome, they will have an opportunity to go to a SurveyMonkey survey. And what I hope is that 75% of the participants will score 3 out of 4, a 75% or higher on this survey. And I will also link this to a comment when I post this for the class, if anybody would like to take that as well. It doesn't take very long, and it's not very hard. So I use the procedural teaching strategy. It includes algorithms, demonstration, games, self-learning modules. This is the immersive technology platform really brings this home. You can use any of these to help teach your intended audience. So virtual reality, as we know, it brings a visualization, like video games and gaming. That's usually a first person or a player one simulation. So it's your world, you are immersed in it, everything is happening around you, and you're interacting with your environment. So the advantage, it increases learner involvement and can increase retention of knowledge and practice. Disadvantage, the cost to produce, the length of time it costs to produce this technology. It's not entirely inclusive or accessible for all learners at this point. So what is immersive technology? We've got reality, the real physical world as we experience it. We've got virtual reality. The entire world around you has become digital. Everything you see in your first person point of view has a digital appearance. Hands, feet. If you look in the mirror, your face would be digitized as well. We also have augmented reality, the physical world with a digital overlay. Think of Pokemon Go or Google Glasses or Microsoft HoloLens. So you have your physical environment in front of you with a computer overlay. Mixed reality is an enhanced layer of augmented reality that a digital object can be replaced by a 3D object while being anchored in the physical world. So you can interact with it. So it's digital and also real. Some of the examples that I've shared, and you'll see these images again because I used a lot of them in my presentation. So we've got Pokemon Go and the HoloLens, and one of the most interesting things that I found is that our vein finders that we use in the hospital, they are technically augmented reality because you're casting a digital shadow on a physical object and coming up with an image. That's pretty neat. So you can find this technology being used in certain corporations. I've seen the Marriott, I've seen BMW. There's a lot of training modalities that these companies are using. So in nursing practice, it's kind of new. I was only able to find one professor so far, and I have not been able to link up with her. But her name is Laura Gilardi, and she teaches out at California State University at Northridge. And so I'm excited to try and connect with her and see how she is using this technology in her practice. So that's something that's forthcoming for me. And why use it? Why even look into it? It's a it's a possible failure in the realm of education. Well, it's an individualized way for the learner to experience real world problems in a controlled atmosphere. And it's taking that need to hold a sim lab all for 30 people or so, or maybe your group is very small, 5 or 6 people, taking them out of needing that whole room, that simulation lab, and they can be at home doing these simulations. People can meet up. There are so many options available to connect a student with learning. So what's the potential for use of immersive technology with enhancing emotional intelligence quotient, or EQ, for students? Tasks, interviews, scripting, de-escalation, and debriefing. This all can be achieved. It may not be produced yet, but it could be achieved. For patients, you've got anxiety and pain relief, diversion, and enhanced communication that can happen. So when is the right time to start exploring this in your practice? It's the wave of the future. It's a now. It's going to be in the future. It's coming real fast. So it's better to be on the wave than to be behind it. That's what we always say. And then these programs are being created. It just takes a little bit of effort, a little bit of, cost assessment, return on investment assessment, and it really is becoming more and more tangible. So here are my multiple choice questions. I'm going to take a sip of water because I'm about to cough. So how is augmented reality different from virtual reality? No difference, they're the same thing. AR is computer generated object immersed in the real world, and VR is total immersion. We've got the opposite. And then AR is simple is inexpensive, VR is costly. Got to take the survey if you want to know what the real answer is, or I'm going to give you a hint. It's B. Why use virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality as a teaching activity? Actually, it's too expensive and not effective for teaching. It's the wave of the future. It's unaffordable. It's a way that allows the learner to experience a high stakes situation and still do no harm. So, or you can choose B and D. It's B and D. So what kind of teaching activities can be used with VR, AR, and MR? Simulations, meetings, testing with real-time feedback, or all of the above? It's going to be all of the above. And then a question to the audience: how can you use VR, AR, MR in your practice? So it kind of throws it back on the audience or the learner to see how perhaps they could use it in their practice. So the concluding statements, it's starting to be used in education. Incorporating this into teaching practice for nurses will help students to practice in high stakes, low risk simulation with instant feedback available. It's the wave of the future and will be integral to building future classrooms. So I'm going to go out on a limb and see if my VR presentation will come up. Okay, so this is what I created for the Nursing Professional Development Group. So I won't reiterate all of the information, but we'll just go through it. A little introduction about me. This is how I broke down the types of immersive technology. So we can see that we've got the images of the virtual reality to see that it's the headsets, and you can put a phone in a cardboard viewer. This links to a SimX video. So I don't know if it will work. I don't know if I can share within a share. So that did not like that. So I will go to those links at the end. So augmented reality, like we saw before, mixed reality. There's a video that I'll go to at the end that I can show you. So how to clean and care for the headsets, just to give them an idea of how easy it is to care for these headsets. Why use it? It's individualized, timely, cost-effective, and low risk. Kind of same reiteration of information, benefits and drawbacks for learners. The EQ, how we can use it, especially for our softer skills, not our hard identification skills, but more of our like synthesis and interaction. When's the right time? You've seen that in the other PowerPoint, so I won't kill you with the info on that. Here are my questions. There's my survey. There's my references. And a big old thank you at the end. So that is the end of the PowerPoint presentation. Here's my references reiterated. And gosh, I really appreciate it. I've really enjoyed this class and this program. So I'm just going to say a big old thank you. And I will be posting this to not only the assignment page, but also the page where other students can see it. And if you have any tips, tricks, pointers, feedback, please let me know. Thank you.